Hello, welcome back to Triple Threat Analysis. This is our official WrestleMania preview episode. So we're going to go through every match on the WrestleMania card, give you our predictions, how we're feeling about them. All right, boys, how we feeling? We're a week away from WrestleMania. We are recording this on Saturday. It will be posted tomorrow on Sunday. So a week away from WrestleMania. How are we feeling? What's our general vibe going into the granddaddy of them all?
I mean, I'll tell you what, man, it is kind of crazy because I actually just read something a little bit before we hopped on here and started to record that if WrestleMania was still in New Orleans like it was supposed to be, we'd actually be watching it right now as we're recording
Mm-hmm.
this. It would be on as we're speaking. We'd be in the main event of night one. It's kind of weird to like look at it that way, but I'm really excited for WrestleMania. Like the matches that we have laid out are still like it's keeping my excitement level high. It might not feel like a spectacular WrestleMania from the outside, but I think we're gonna be in for some good stuff.
For sure. What about you, Glenn?
I mean, if you would have asked me 2 weeks ago, I was really excited, and now I'm less excited than I won't say ever been, but we'll get into reasons and stuff like that later. I'm just not, I'm not as excited as David is right now, but yeah, we'll get into reasons stuff like that when we talk about the matches and stuff.
I would also agree that my excitement has kind of come down over the past couple weeks with recent events, but I mean it's still WrestleMania, so I mean you never really know what'll happen. Before we get into the matches, I did want to respond to a comment that we got on our last video, and we're gonna try to do this every video. Reply to some of y'all's comments, what y'all think about the show, or what do y'all want us to talk about. This is from Kang Gang 6171. He wants to know what we think about AEW and if we might do any AEW reviews or shows. I'll start. I have never watched a single episode of any AEW programming. The only thing I know about AEW is when it relates to WWE. So I'm not one to talk about AEW, but what about y'all?
I mean, I'll go next right away because I feel like I'm that next step. I think all three of us are on different legs of the ladder when it comes to AEW. Like, I'll definitely tune in when there's stuff with guys that I know that have become big enough names to me as a, pretty diehard wrestling fan where, hey, I want to tune into this match or I want to tune into this show. It looks like there's a lot of good matches on it. So I've definitely tuned in. I've definitely seen a couple of their, matches. I watch a lot of the highlights when they come on, but I'm not tuning in every week. It's not enough to where I could get on here and talk about it like I can talk about the WWE product. But like when it comes time to the time of year where it's like their WrestleMania season, I wouldn't be surprised if, you see maybe Glenn and I hop on here and talk about it for 30 minutes to an hour just because it's their biggest
Yeah.
time of year and I got to give them some love too.
What about
Yeah,
you, Glenn?
I first watched AEW during the Cody Rhodes Dustin Rhodes match, and it was one of the bloodiest matches I've ever watched. It was one of the best matches I've ever watched. It's kind of been downhill since then. A lot of AEW fans will tell me differently, but that was like the peak for me. Like back when Cody originally started it, helped start it, and stuff like that. It was pretty good. And since then, it's just been WWE 2.0, TNA 2.0, nonstop old WWE wrestlers going in there. Chris Jericho did just go back there, and I'm heartbroken. I'm not even gonna lie about that. Edge went over there. I was heartbroken. I'm not even gonna lie about
Yeah.
that. Dean Ambrose went over there. I was heartbroken. Not even gonna lie about that. And he came into Wild Thing. Imagine he came into Wild Thing in a WWE crowd, man. So they've done a couple of decent things over there, but as WWE fans, I'm not someone that's gonna be disloyal and just go watch every AEW episode, put on an AEW shirt, stuff like that. I'm not too intertwined with wrestling product as it is. I'm more of an entertainment guy than a wrestling guy. But yeah, I mean, we will and can talk about some. If you want us to talk about some AEW stuff, you gotta comment and say, "Hey, this happened on AEW. Can you talk about it?" And then we'll watch the highlights and stuff like that and talk about it for you. Also, there were a bunch of other comments on the stuff. We will comment on the next ones because we got a long podcast today. But we will display your comment, reply to every single comment because we don't get that many as it is. And eventually, little by little, we'll maybe even do a full episode on comments if we get enough. So just make sure make sure you're commenting, liking, subscribing, all that. We'll get to all your stuff eventually.
For sure. All right, boys, let's get into the card. So the way we're gonna be doing this is we're gonna be going, match one, match one, night two, so on, so on. So we're gonna go through both nights simultaneously. We're gonna start off with the Drew versus Jacob. So I mean, we all know the way we've gotten here. They've gotten pretty personal over the last couple of weeks. I know we kind of commented on the build up, in past episodes about how it's been kind of lacking, but the last couple of weeks they've really turned it up, and it has gotten me way more interested in this match than I originally was a couple weeks ago. And I think, especially with the unsanctioned stipulation, it's going to be it should be a banger, right? I mean, it's hard not to put on a banger with that kind of stipulation. But what do y'all think about the match?
I mean, Drew's been put into these situations a lot where, no title on the line or anything like that, but he's constantly put, Hell in a Cell, 3 stages of hell. Now, this, whatever the case may be, like he's put into these brutal matches. I will say my one trepidation for this match is that it's in the first hour on the ESPN programming.
Yeah.
Now, does that mean we're not going to see blood? Does that mean we're not going to see as much violence? Because this is an unsanctioned match between two dudes who they have now built to hate each other. I mean, they jumped off the side of a building. Drew just had him chained up last night on SmackDown. This is something to where I think they need the brutality to show in this wrestling match. And I don't know if ESPN is going to allow them to fully do that. Am I still excited for this match? Yes, absolutely. I think these two can still put on a banger of a match, whether there is blood or not. But I think the way it's been built, like they really need that full physicality and that full brutality. And I don't know that we're going to get it with it being within the first hour.
Yeah, I could definitely see that. Yeah, so just to add on to that, these first 4 matches we're going to talk about are all in the first hour of each night. And so, like David said, they will be streamed on the actual ESPN channel, not just on ESPN Unlimited. But moving on, Glenn, what do you think about this match?
When this match was first brought about, when Drew first lost the title, actually before he lost the title, I said, please don't give us Drew versus Fatu. I don't want it because I want Drew to have the title going into WrestleMania. Turns out TKO had different ideas because we'll get into that. I'm not even going to rage about it yet. But I was like, you know what? We're going to get the best parts of Drew versus Fatu before we get to WrestleMania. And if I wanted to believe that, I would tell you guys right now, we got the best parts of it because the buildup has been pretty good. In fact, this is the only 2 guys they've actually let go at each other. When it's Orton and Cody, everyone's in the ring blocking. When it's, everybody else, everyone's getting blocked. These guys just got to beat the hell out of each other. So
Yeah.
this is the one match they've built correctly, but I just can't get my full excitement level for it. The build up, I'm gonna give it an 8 out of 10 if I'm gonna rate the build up. My excitement level for it, I'm gonna give it a 5 out of 10. Could that change like during the match, like some blood, like David said, happens? Can I go crazy for it? Yeah, absolutely. These are 2 guys that I really enjoy. These two. These two are superstars. They're elites, and yeah, I do think Fatu is an elite now. So I can get excited during the match, but as of right now, I'm at a 5 out of 10 going for it. It should be a good match though.
Yeah, I do think putting this as the first match of WrestleMania, first match of night one, like, is kind of an odd decision. I mean, like, I feel like that kind of points to that it's not going to be like that crazy, regardless of it being on actual ESPN. Just that it's the first match of the whole show, like, really just, I don't know. It feels to me like it won't be anything like crazy, but I mean, you never know. But let's get into who y'all think are going to win.
Yeah, I mean, I think both of these guys like need the win right now. I think neither of these guys can truly like take an L with the way things are going. But just because of what I see post WrestleMania and where I can see things going with these guys afterwards, I do think they're going to allow Jacob to come out victorious. I think we may see a little bit of maybe some time off or something like that from Drew here again, just because he's been just such in the prime time of everything for months now again. Whether he was the champion or not, I mean, he's been in the main event scene constantly, showing up every week. And we know these guys, sometimes after WrestleMania, they'll take a couple weeks off, bring up the new talent, give them some extra time on TV. So, and I don't see that happening with Jacob. Like, he just came back from some time off not that long ago. I think he's going to be on TV every week right after WrestleMania. So I'm going to go with Jacob winning in this one.
Times 2.
Yeah. I don't really have anything else to add. I have the same opinion. I have Jacob winning as well. I do, like I said, I do think it'll be a good match. It has the potential to be a show-stealing match, but whether it will, who knows?
Yeah.
And I will be writing down all of our predictions, and so we can review them in our post WrestleMania show.
I think it'd be cool. Like, also, we can put our records. Like, we can starting
Yeah.
from this WrestleMania, maybe until next year's WrestleMania if we do it that long, which we should, hopefully. We'll
We're
just have a
going.
record. Whoever has the better record maybe gets a free ticket to a wrestling show or something. Like when we all go or
Ooh, that's
something.
big money.
Well, we'll do some upper decks.
Common
All right.
ideas for what the winner should get with the best record.
Yeah.
Or punishment for worst, one or the other.
Yeah, there you go.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
Like make Nick wear a freaking. I don't know. I don't think there's anything he would be too angry about wearing. We'll see. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. All right, moving into the next match is going to be the Usos and LA Knight versus the Vision and Speed. How are we feeling? How are we feeling about this? Let's start with you, David.
Yeah, like I think like this match is the perfect match to be within that first hour on the ESPN programming because a ton of people are going to be tuning in specifically to watch Speed. And now, don't get me wrong, a lot of those people probably would pay for ESPN Unlimited just to watch Speed as well. But if you get all these people tuned in on ESPN right as that hour is fading out or right as it's over and they're like, oh, shoot, that was pretty good. Like, I do want to watch more of that. You get them over to ESPN Unlimited by having the biggest celebrity that you've drawn in, it feels like so far, that actually has a match on the card within that first hour. It's going to draw a lot of eyes. Now, I do wish this was just a straight up like tag team title match between the Usos and the Vision instead. I think that would be a lot better. I think they just kind of shoehorned LA Knight into this WrestleMania card because everybody was crying and saying, where the heck is LA Knight? Well, here he is. He's probably going to eat the pin. So there you go. But I am kind of excited for this match. Like, I do want to see Speed in the ring. Like, he's always good for a good, big, viral moment. And so is Logan Paul usually when he's in the ring, too. So I think both of them together, there's definitely going to be some really cool, big moment within this match.
For sure. What about you, Glenn?
Build up zero. Excitement zero. Why the hell are the tag team titles not up for grabs at WrestleMania? You could put Speed. I don't give a damn if you put Speed at WrestleMania. Whatever. Cool. I don't mind him. It's not him that I'm. Why? Why change the titles from hand to hand weeks before WrestleMania and it's not being defended at WrestleMania? Tell
Neither
me.
sets of
It don't
tag
make.
titles, by the way.
Huh?
Neither sets of tag titles either. Like, SmackDown
Yeah.
ones aren't
Like
being
it.
defended either.
Yeah.
I don't understand it. I don't know who's calling this. I don't know if it's TKO. I don't know if it's WWE. I don't know if it's Triple. I don't know anymore. I don't know. This is just one of the matches where I'm just like, why? What the hell is going on? You could have had a one-on-one Speed versus LA Knight, and it would have probably been better than
Yeah.
including them in this. And that I'm not excited for this match. The build-up was a zero. I don't understand what's going on here. I'm actually legit pissed off about it. As a grown-ass man watching a scripted show, I am pissed off about this. In a scripted show, that's how you know this is dumb. So that's my take on it.
Yeah, I'm kind of in the same boat. I'm not looking forward to this match at all. I think it can be a decent match. Like, I don't think it's going to be a bad match, but it's just like kind of like why? Like, there's no reason for me to care about it, and especially of it being in the first hour of the show. Like, it's going to be a break time, so we can get before we get into the real meat of the show. For me, at least. Who do y'all think is going to win? Not like it really matters, I guess.
I mean, I kind of gave mine away when I was talking about it. Like, I do think it's going to be the Vision coming away with the win. Something's going to happen, like some distraction, some crazy thing with Speed, whatever the case is. Like, something is going to go awry. And I do think LA Knight is the one that ends up eating the pin. Like, everybody, like I said, he was kind of shoehorned into the situation anyways. I don't think they're going to have the celebrity eat another pin like Jelly Roll did at SummerSlam with Speed at WrestleMania. So I do think it ends up being somebody on the Usos / LA Knight team that goes down. And why not just have it be LA Knight instead of have it be one of the Usos?
LA Knight, the perpetual pin taker.
Exactly.
What about you, Glenn?
I don't care. I really don't. Just they gave the belts to the Vision. They're trying to build up. Logan Paul is one of the most talented people on. I can't believe I'm saying that, but Logan Paul is one of the most talented people on this roster. They got to build him up somehow. He can't lose. So there you go.
Yeah, I mean, as much as it pains me to say, I kind of did go back and forth on who I thought would win. I took way too long thinking about this match. But I did land on the Usos and LA Knight winning. But because Speed turns on Logan, or maybe we get some sort of Danhausen interference, with the curse and everything. I don't know. But I do think the Usos and Knight will win on some sort of, weird finish. I'm assuming nothing else to say about that.
No.
No.
Next up, we have what I think will be the best match of the night, and it's the IC ladder match with Penta, Dragon Lee, Javon Evans, Rey Mysterio, Jade McDonough, and Rusev. So, as far as how this match came about, nobody really knows, right? Like, as far as I know, like, These people just got like randomly announced to be in this match.
Qualifying matches on main event,
Yeah,
supposedly.
sure. Like, who
Yeah,
watches main event? But
exactly.
but regardless of how it got thrown together, it's almost like the perfect assortment of people to put in a
Yep,
ladder match.
absolutely.
Like, it's just there's gonna be like so many high flying spots and just great spots in general. Like, this has the potential to be one of, if not the best ladder match, maybe in WWE history. It's gonna be insane. What are y'all thinking about it?
It's definitely giving like old school Money in the Bank at WrestleMania vibes. You know what I mean? Like where they would just put some of the best high flyers, the Shelton Benjamins, the Kofi Kingstons. They would put those guys in the ladder match and say, just go put on a show. You know what I mean? And like that's what this
Mm-hmm.
match does feel like. But the one thing that I do really want to just touch on real quick with this match specifically is it was really convenient of Rey Mysterio to just stroll in the week after Seth and Gunther is announced and say, "Oh, look, I'm healthy to compete at WrestleMania in the most dangerous match of the entire weekend." I mean, it just things timed up really well for Rey Mysterio there, and it was just really
Hey,
funny to see it all
listen,
play out.
the
But
veterans
it
know how to get what they want.
at the same time though, like if you were to ask me to rank all six of these guys and who I want to win the most, like Ray still probably is at the bottom of that list. Like I don't really want to see 50 plus year old Rey Mysterio running around with the IC title anymore. Like we know that
Yeah,
he's nearing the end anyways, and every single one of these dudes could benefit from having the IC title, and Penta could absolutely benefit from continuing to have the IC title. So
for
there's
sure.
a lot of stuff going on in this match. I think it's going to be an amazing match. I'm very excited for it. I just wanted to, have to joke about Ray joining at the perfect time.
Yeah. I will say, like, I was at Raw this past Monday, and I'm going
No
off on a
way.
tangent right now, but I was at Raw this past Monday, and I just want to say, like, the pop for Ray was, like, kind of, like, bigger than I expected it to be. Like, obviously, I didn't know he was coming back, but, like, knowing that, like, the pop for him was kind of huge, right? Like, I don't know if it sounded like that on TV, but it definitely was, like, in the arena. Way bigger than I thought it would be. Like, I know Ray's popular and always has been, but I don't know. It just felt bigger than I would have expected it to.
Ray is definitely a legend, and I think being as far south as you are down there in Houston, like, definitely helps out a little bit.
Yeah, true,
But
true.
like Ray is a legend. Like Ray draws those types of pops. I mean, especially after a return, a lot of people,
Mm.
especially after Gunther was locked up, like I think most people were just expecting him to not return until after WrestleMania or until whatever the next case is. But he just kind of randomly came out and said, "All right, we're making it a six man now." So
All right. What about you, Glenn? How are you feeling about this match? What do you think?
I am excited for this match. I always love ladder matches. I always love for belts. Yeah, this is I'm about a 9 out of 10 excitement level here. The build up was a little just like, listen, you're getting this. It doesn't matter how we build it up or how we get there, we'll get there. But yeah, I am excited for this. I was gonna say that Ray, it was a big pop, but it was basically in Mexico. Like it's, you know what I mean. Like, but hey, nonetheless, I would have popped for Ray too at MSG. So
yeah.
Ray is a legend, and what he's done in this business and every business is unbelievable. So I am happy that Ray's at WrestleMania. I do think this is a build up for something else. We'll talk about it when we'll talk about who wins. But yeah, I am very excited to have this match. This is going to be a great match. This could steal the show. It should steal the show.
For sure. All right. Let's get into who we think is gonna win. I'll start. This is another one I went back and forth a bunch on, and I couldn't pick one. On my notes, I said Pinto or Javon.
Yeah.
Like, those
Yeah.
are the two that I think one of those two will win, and I am perfectly okay with either of them winning. I would like to see Pinto retain, but if there's a match for Javon to win his first singles
Yeah.
title in WWE, it is definitely this match. And like I said, I will be perfectly fine with either of them winning, especially if it leads to like some sort of like long term feud between Pinto and Javon. That would be amazing. So I know it's kind of a cop out, but I picked Pinto or Javon.
All right. Well, those were the final two that I came down to as well when I was trying to decide who I wanted to win this match. Is it Penta? Is it Javon Evans? And I will tell you the reason why that I picked Penta to be the winner of the IC ladder match. I think in another match that we're going to talk about later on for the US Championship between Sami Zayn and Trick Williams, I think they're going to give the nod to the younger guy in that match and really give him kind of a push a little bit. So
I
I
don't think Sami
don't think
Zayn's that
they're
young. but I mean, okay.
I don't think they're going to do it in both that match and the IC match. I think they're going to allow Penta to continue to hold on to the IC title. I still do think we can get Javon versus Penta at some point soon, some point down the line. Maybe SummerSlam, maybe already a Backlash, who knows? But I do think we can still get to that point. But I think Penta hasn't had the title long enough yet. We haven't seen enough of the bangers that he can put on while holding that title. And if they're not going to put him with Rey Fenix, then let him continue to hold the title until you're ready to put the Lucha Bros back together. So my winner for this match is Penta.
Yeah, they mentioned that they don't want to put all of the younger talent over at the same time. Like I saw somebody mention that, I forgot what number WrestleMania was, but this could be another repeat of that where Cena and Batista won, and like it really like signaled a changing of the guard, and like that could happen here. Like if Javon wins and Trick wins and Obo wins, like it really could be like the same kind of situation. We have an aging roster with these new, young, really popular guys. Like, I mean, I don't think it's out of the possibility that they all get put over, at WrestleMania. So, what about you, Glenn? Who do you have winning?
Well, speaking of old versus young, I have Rey Mysterio winning this because I have it being a build-up that Rey Mysterio gets retired at SummerSlam by Dom, and Dom wins the belt back. Shockingly enough, in Minnesota, as far away from Mexico as possible in America, I guess, the complete opposite. But yeah, I think we're going to see a lot of like Rey Mysterio versus Javon. We're going to see Rey Mysterio versus Penta. We're going to see a lot of things. Like Rey Mysterio can still go for just until SummerSlam, of course. Let's not forget he's still one of the best in the ring regardless. And we're going to see a lot of great matches until SummerSlam with Rey Mysterio. Now, it is possible they could exchange the belts back and forth a couple of times before them, but I do think either Dom or Rey will have the belt going into SummerSlam, and then Dom will retire Rey at SummerSlam. So that's what my build-up is for that.
I mean, I could definitely see that happen. I'm not sure that would be what I would want to have, but
No, definitely not. But it's a WWE WrestleMania special, so
yeah, for sure. And before we move on, I do just want to mention the other three people in the match because we didn't talk about them at all. Dragon Lee. I mean, he's obviously impressive and can go with anybody. And he's definitely gonna have an insane spot. JD McDonough, we know what he can do in ladder matches.
JD McDonough's gonna die in this match probably.
He will die. Rusev kind of sticks out to me. Like he's the odd one out here.
They had to have one like bruiser, like like even the Money in the Bank ladder matches back in the day that I was talking about that used to be in WrestleMania, like Kane would be in those, Big Show would be in those, you know what I mean? Like they always have one big body, big bruiser, somebody who can like really make it look bad when they swing that ladder and nail a Dragon Lee, a JD McDonough in the head with it, you know what I mean? So I think Rusev's that guy. Like you said, Dragon Lee and JD McDonough are going to put on some great spots. They're going to go through a ladder. They're going to do something crazy in this match. Probably a couple crazy things in this match. But like all three of those guys are very entertaining in their own right. I just don't think they're in a position to be winning the IC title right now.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Would you mark out if Aiden English comes out for Rusev Day when Rusev comes out? I would go nuts. But I think he's in another promotion right now. I don't know. I think he's just announcing though. He's announcing. Yeah, he's announcing. So like, and they have a partnership, so it's doable.
Yeah.
Anything else to say about the IC ladder match?
I mean, talking about Rusev coming out, as long as he doesn't come out in a Russian tank again, I think we're fine.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I would love.
I'd be alright with that, honestly. Just talking about that would be kind of cool.
All right, let's get into the next match, which is probably the one I am most excited for of all of WrestleMania weekend. Brock versus Oba. The build-up for this match has not been a single damn word said. They have just been brawling for weeks, and that is, in my opinion, the exact build-up that this match needed. We don't need to hear him talk. I don't care what Brock has to say. I don't care what Paul Heyman has to say. I don't think I've heard Oba speak a word yet, and I
don't care what he's got to say either.
I don't care what Oba got to say either. Like, I am enthralled by this match, and it will absolutely, positively, guaranteed be a banger. What about y'all? I mean, I'm assuming y'all feel the same way.
I mean, yeah, like I'm absolutely excited for it. The build-up has been probably the best build-up to any of the matches that we have this week with this weekend worth of WrestleMania matches. The guarantee of it being a banger, I'd say, isn't exactly there. Like, this could very much be the old school, like, two big guys just kind of hit their finishing moves a couple times on each other, a couple other moves here and there, and, like, just back and forth, that's it. Could be a squash, there could be a lot of things that happen in this match. But I am really excited for it. I am, like, the one major thing that I wanted to touch on is, I've been saying all along, just like a lot of people have, that, like, Oba has to win this match. Like, the only way that it's worth it is Oba winning this match, Oba going over Brock. And, like, I've actually started to see some theories online and reading, some probably just some fan made theories and stuff like that, but like stories that could go after post WrestleMania if Brock does win this match. And like it has opened up my brain a little bit to, like maybe this isn't as must win for Oba as I thought, depending on how they continue the story afterwards, if that's the route
Hmm.
they decide to go. But excitement level through the roof. I think it is going to be a good match. Like again, another first hour of, this one is on night two, so this one will actually be on ESPN itself. Night one, the
Right.
first hour is on ESPN two. This one will be on ESPN itself. Like I do think it'll a lot of be a lot of just like walk out to the ring, big meaty men stare at each other, walk in a circle for a little bit, you know what I mean? But like once they
Yeah.
get to it, the fans are going to be invested. It's going to be loud. It's going to be crazy.
For sure. So you mentioned like it could be a squash, and I was watching Santi's video reacting to people's comments, and one of them said that this match should be Oba squashing Brock, and I do not agree. Like I think this needs to be a brawl, like a good old fashioned like brawl, long match where they both look strong. That way, I think if that is how the match goes and Brock wins, it's not as bad as it being the typical Brock, couple suplexes, F5, and then he wins. I think if this is a long match and it makes them both look super strong, either one could win without it being detrimental to the other one for losing. What about you, Glenn? How are you feeling about this match?
Build up, 9 out of 10. Excitement, 9 out of 10. This is definitely a main event early, which is weird, but this is a main event type match. I've been going back and forth with this, like what I want, what should happen, what's the best thing that could happen, what's the worst thing that could happen. There is no bad result anymore in my mind. I said if Oba loses, terrible. But I don't feel that way anymore. I feel like there's so many ways you can go, even if Oba loses. I just, what can it be? I don't know. I'm not a writer, unfortunately. Call us up, Trips. But I do feel like there are options if Oba loses. Like again, he's still so young and just so new that him losing doesn't end him. Like he still has such a long way to go. We still got a big build up for SummerSlam. Brock's retiring supposedly at SummerSlam as well. If Brock loses, can you even take him seriously? I mean, you still can. It's Brock Lesnar, of course you will.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's a lot. We'll talk about the result. Go back around, but I'm just super excited for this match. A lot of things can happen in this match. A lot of results make sense. A lot of results kind of don't, but I just feel like everything could be built up perfectly as long as this isn't like a 1 minute match. That's the only thing
Mhm.
I wouldn't like. Everything
Yeah.
else, I'm cool with.
I agree. Like I said, I think it needs to be a long, good match. Now we're get on to who we think's gonna win. Originally, I had Brock winning, and the longer I thought about it, and the closer we got, the more the build-up goes. I do have Oba winning, but I wouldn't be shocked if Brock did win. I will say, we've seen Brock take a couple of was it the fall from grace, right? Yeah, we've
Hmm.
seen him take a couple of those. We have not seen Oba take an F5 yet. So I mean, y'all touched on it in the last episode. Usually, the one who's getting wrecked before the match is the one that ends up winning the match. So we'll see how it goes. But what about you, David? Who do you have winning?
Yeah, I mean, I went back and forth for a long time in this, and like I said, reading a lot of the fan theories, fan made up stories for things post WrestleMania, like it did have me almost leaning towards kind of wanting Brock to win to kind of see what they do decide to do post WrestleMania. But if I had to make a decision, I do think this is another spot where, like we talked about a little bit in the last match, they do put the young talent over. I think they're trying to kind of build the next Brock Lesnar, somebody who can just step in anytime he wants to be a part of that world title picture. And if he's not, like he's still going to be a big draw, the main attraction, whatever the case may be on the show. So I do think Oba goes over. I do think this is probably close to, if not the end of what we see of Brock and Oba. So I think that's why I'm leaning more towards Oba going over than Brock. Because if Brock goes over, this feud would have to continue.
What
I
about you,
think
Glenn?
this is in Las Vegas. Ryback's gonna. No, I'm just kidding.
No,
Somebody,
no.
somebody sent that to Ryback on Twitter, so he says something about it. No, but I think Brock wins this match because I feel like there has to be something after. If Oba wins, Brock is gonna challenge him again after a loss. Like it doesn't sound right. So I think it's gonna be a great match. I think could there be some interference by Paul Heyman where it's not super clean? Maybe Oba just beats the hell out of Paul Heyman. I don't know. But I'm gonna say that Brock wins this one way or another in a very good match. I don't think it's gonna be super long. I think it's gonna be like long enough. You know what I'm saying? I think it's gonna be long enough where they both do some finishers, they both do some good moves, the crowd gets into it, and then Brock wins, and then we get a nice build up for something else after.
No. Like David, I think if Brock wins, like this does have to continue with Oba. Like I
Right.
don't, and honestly, like I know, like we've gotten into this thing, Gunther is retiring everybody or whatever. But if Brock wins and we get Oba and Brock again at SummerSlam, and Oba retires Brock, like I think that is like best, like would be like best case
100%.
scenario, like
Yeah.
like storyline wise and for Oba's career, like. But I think WWE's kind of pigeonholed themselves into having to have Gunther retire everybody now. So I don't think we'll see that, but we'll see. Um, and I don't think there's really going to be any like shenanigans in this match. I think it's just going to be two
Yeah.
brutes going back and forth. And really looking forward to it. Anything else on this match?
No.
All right. Next up, we have Becky Lynch versus AJ Lee for the Intercontinental Championship. I mean, we know the build up of this match has been happening for quite a while. AJ beat Becky for the championship at Elimination Chamber, and here we are. I will say, like the TV, the pre-recorded promo that aired on Raw this past Monday was the best thing that they have done of this entire feud and build up, at least in my opinion. Like it was the first thing between them two that actually made me feel any sort of excitement for this match. But how are y'all feeling about it going into it?
Yeah, I mean, I have like from the get-go, AJ Lee coming back, like it was exciting because AJ Lee 10 years ago was exciting. And just more and more as she comes out, like I just get less and less excited for this feud. Like I'm just kind of getting to the point now where, all right, put the title back on Becky, let her go back to, doing her thing, like having the title on her. Mind you, this last Monday on Raw, I think was the best back and forth that they've had yet. It was simple, it was short, it was straight to the point. Becky walked in on the interview with Michael Cole and AJ Lee, said, Michael Cole, get out. They had a very adult conversation. It wasn't, you sound like this and you talk like you're from 10
Mm-hmm.
years ago. And it was very serious. And it did bring my excitement level back up a little bit, but exactly kind of like I've been calling all along. Like, I do think it's time to just say, okay, Becky's a full timer. She's here every week. Let her run off with it.
Yeah, we'll save time here, at least from my standpoint. Not excited. Build up was whatever. You were right when you said Elimination Chamber. Now we got Becky versus AJ. That's it. That's what we got.
Yeah.
The promos have been whatever. It's been AJ Lee saying, I hate you, Becky, but I love you. You're the greatest. Thank you for everything you've done. Or vice versa, I should say. And it's like, whatever. I think Becky wins, so you don't have to come back around to me and ask me who wins. And I think the build up was just could have been a lot better. These two are two legends in the game, though, so I'll be excited for the entrances and stuff like that. As far as the match, we'll see.
Yeah, I do. Like, I think I might have touched on this, like, a little bit, or I can't remember if it was on here or if it was just in our personal chats. But like, when AJ first came back, like I said, like I needed her to be like more in touch with how the wrestling division or the women's division is now, and it just really hasn't felt like she is. Like, she still talks like it's 2015, she still wrestles like it's 2015. The promo on Monday, like, was by far her best one since coming back, and it was pre-recorded. Like, it wasn't even live. So I don't know. Like, I was like David. I was super excited when AJ came back. AJ was one of my favorites, probably my favorite of all the women in the division back then. But it's been disappointing so far. Elimination Chamber was good. I like, as far as in-ring performance, it was good, and so I am looking forward to seeing if she's knocked off some more ring rust and looks a lot better here, but I'm not really that excited for the match. I do have Becky winning. I do think she needs to win, like Glenn. And I'm assuming you too, David, but who do you have
Yep.
winning?
Yeah, Becky.
Yeah. All right, cool. Anything else about this one? I don't think so.
No, sir.
All right, cool. Let's move on. Next up, we have the women's tag titles. We have Bayley and Lyra. We have the Irresistible Forces with Nia and Lash, Alexa and Charlotte, and then Nikki and Brie, maybe, if Nikki is cleared for Mania from her ankle or foot injury or whatever she has. So, like, the build-up for this match has been going on for a while. Like, they've all been fighting for a long time. But I'm not personally, like, I think it's going to be a great match, but I'm not personally excited for really anything in the match. But I do think it's going to be a very entertaining match. What about you, David?
No, I agree. Like I do think it's going to be an entertaining match. My issue is that, it's a four-way tag match. And like half the tag teams in the match, I kind of wish just weren't tag teams anymore. You know what I mean? Like Charlotte and Alexa's run has been great. I think they've been really entertaining. I think it's time to get them back on their individual ways, whether even if you put them
Hmm.
into the mid card title scene just to allow them to bring those titles up like Becky's done with the IC, or you put them back into the main event title picture for so that Jade actually has, real opponents when she's after the Rhea stuff or whatever the case may be. Like, and then even Bailey and Lyra, like they've been great together. They've brought out a lot of stuff, but they're just kind of both superstars that can go off and do their own thing, and they don't need to be wrapped up in the tag division. So my excitement level is up there. I do think it's going to be a good match, but at the end of the day, like, yeah, it's the women's tag titles with a bunch of women that are main eventers. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
it's going to be good because I know they're so good, but they could also be doing better things.
Right.
I'm excited because I think, like David said, this is so many the the history and the fact, the experience that these women have. They're gonna put on a show. This is gonna be a good. I don't like the four-way tag system per se, but I just think it's going to be a great. The build-up's actually been pretty decent, like a 7.5 out of 10, because, like Nick said, it's been going on. They've been doing a lot of things. Now, it hasn't been anything super of substance, but it's been going on for a while, and
Hmm.
Mhm.
I'm just excited. There's a lot of. I don't even know who's gonna like. We'll come back to it, but I have it's all 50-50-50-50. Well, I guess 25-25-25-25. But yeah, I don't know. I'm excited. I just want to see a great match, and I think we're gonna get one.
Yeah, I do think it'll be a good matchup, potentially a great match. This feels very like old school, right? Like they just throw a bunch of like main eventers together, put them in a
Yeah.
title match, and then see what happens. Which I mean is great. Let's get into who we think wins. I think Bailey and Lyra are going to win. I actually disagree with you, David. I think they're both in like the perfect position for a tag title run to eventually propel them back into the singles. I think out of all of the teams here, like they would benefit the most from having the titles and having them for a while and eventually building to a split between them two. Especially like when you look at what both of them have been doing recently, like Lyra had the IC title, didn't really do anything with it, had to give it up had to give it up, and somebody else has taken it and ran with it further. So like her stock's kind of at an all time low in my opinion. Bailey is Bailey. Like, she's gonna be great whatever she does, but her stock's not really that high right now either. And then when you look at the other teams like Nia and Lash, both don't need to be a tag team right now, and they could easily go be single superstars. Alexa and Charlotte both could be stars on their own. Nikki and Brie don't matter. So, I think Bailey and Lyra really are the only two that need like this to help propel them back into what we know they can be. So I do think they do win, especially after their promo on Monday. I don't know if y'all saw it, but it was during the commercial, but they had a great talking segment. And yeah, so I do think they will win. What about you, David?
I mean, I obviously disagree. Mine, kind of like you said with the, IC title match when we talked about it earlier, mine kind of has a little bit of a contingency on it. I do think that if the Bellas are in this match, if Nikki gets cleared, if she is healthy, I do think the Bellas do come out of this victorious. And not because I want them to, not because I think they need it, not because any of that. But I think this just kind of starts their little, probably short run, maybe to SummerSlam, maybe to something else, whatever the case is, of just kind of coming back, being at the top of the mountain for a little while, and then, going off and leaving again or retiring or just being done from WWE officially. But if they're in the match, I do think this is where that starts them, their kind of retirement course as well. If not, I actually do think the titles stay with Nia and Lash. Like, there's not going to be a ton of situations throughout the card where heels are winning, at least in my opinion. And I do think this is a good spot to where it won't super affect anything crazy. And I do believe Lash still needs some time alongside Nia to continue to grow and learn the main roster and do everything that she needs to do before she's, I mean, clearly going to be propelled into that main event title picture.
For sure. Clint,
I
what do you
agree
think?
with Nick. 100% agree with Nick that they have to win. No one else in this match really has to win. If there's a second, it would have to be Nia and Lash, just to like give them a little bit more of like this team is actually legit type thing. But we kind of know that now. Believe it or not, a lot of people are actually seeing Nia and Lash as just really good, and I didn't think that was going to be the case at first. But yeah, I think Bailey and Lyra have to win this, because if they lose this match, what the hell do you do with them? Like, yeah, you could put Bailey versus Becky tomorrow and it'll be good, But would you believe Bailey's going to win that match? She's been losing nonstop, like in terms of big matches. So ever since that SummerSlam that they went to and she won it, she hasn't seemed to win anything big since. Yeah, I'm just going to say that they have to win, and it's going to be a great match too. I'm super excited to watch this match. But yeah, I do think that Lyra and Bailey have to win, and maybe we get either Crazy Bailey back, or maybe we get Buddy Bailey back, and we get the Hugger back, and we get the old song back. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. I would definitely love old Bailey back. Every time I hear her theme, role model, I'm like, what are we doing here? Like, they debuted it at WrestleMania 40, and then like it has nothing to do with her character, like at all. She doesn't play into it at all. So give me Paramore back. Like, just give me Paramore back. But yeah, so like I do think Bailey and Lyra need to win, and have a long reign before eventually splitting up. Anything else about this?
Who do you guys think? I mean, I know I'm sure we've all read the rumors and stuff, but who, if the Bellas somehow don't end up making it, is it the Kabuki Warriors? Is it Julia and Kiana? Like, who do we either think gets added, or who do you want to see get added?
I think the most logical one is the Kabuki Warriors, which, in my opinion, would really suck because that really closes the door on Io having any sort of
Yeah.
match at Mania. But I do think they would be the obvious choice. I could see Kiana and Julia, but I think the Kabuki Warriors are definitely the obvious one. What about you,
Trish
Jim?
Stratus, Michelle McCool. Just remember I
Yes,
said it
please.
first.
Yeah, I got you. I'll make sure I'll get that clip out first so
Yeah.
people know that it was
That you
first.
said it.
Then
Yes.
when it happens, I said it. I made it up
Yeah.
completely out of nowhere. If it happens, that's insane.
That would definitely be insane. But since I kind of touched on like the fact that Asuka does not have a confirmed, or that Io does not have a confirmed match for WrestleMania is absolutely insane. Like, she is like your best women's wrestler, and she is not on the WrestleMania card. She's on the marquee. Like, she is on all of the advertisements, and she's not on the actual card.
She's been at the casino table this entire
Yeah,
time.
yeah. So like, how do you?
I will say the one thing about EO, like the one thing about WrestleMania in general is, so the rumor that we've all read from the start is that they wanted to be at 16 matches total. Right now they're at 13 matches total. They have 6 matches on one night, 7 matches on the other. So, and mind you, they do have a lot of women's matches already on night 1, which is the night that they have 6 matches instead of the 7, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Io and Asuka has been built well enough. Golly. Io and Asuka has been built well enough, especially with the possible turn of Kyrie or whatever the case may be, to like be that 7th match, get them to 14. Like, you don't need to give them a ton of time. Like, give Io and Asuka 10 minutes in that ring, and like they're gonna impress a lot of people. They're gonna keep the casual like wrestling fans' eyes on the screen. Like, it's not just gonna turn into a bathroom break for people. Like, Io and Asuka in the ring, like, even with one more Raw to go, you can really push this storyline of like it's the mentor versus the mentee. Like, you can push, like, you can tell Kyrie's ready to just turn and get away from Asuka. And then, like, if you don't want to put Io and Rhea back together, you can have Io and Kyrie for a little while, or do it. Like, there's so many options they can do. It would be an entertaining match. Like, I would love to see it get on the WrestleMania card.
Yeah, I mean, they've been building Asuka and Io forever, and for them to not pay it off at WrestleMania, like, it just feels so wrong to me. Like, aside from not having Io on the card at all, like, but and not having Asuka on the card, like, I mean, she is like, she's great too. Like, it would be a banger regardless of how much time they have. And it's a shame that neither of them are on the card right now. Anything else to say about this? Right. Next up, we have Seth versus Gunther. Obviously, a very quick build for this one. Got thrown together a couple weeks ago. I do think that they took it the perfect direction, and that Gunther is not actually, like, helping Heyman. He's just using him for leverage. Like, I think that is, like, the perfect angle, so it doesn't require any sort of, like, personal, like, build up or anything. Gunther's basically just a henchman right now, or, a hitman going for Seth just to further himself along, which is exactly what needed to happen. I think this will be a good match. I mean, it's hard not to have a good match with these two. Like, they're both great in ring workers, so it'll be a good entertaining match. What about you, David?
Yeah, I think wrestling wise, this is lined up to possibly again like be the wrestling match of the night. Steal the show that way in terms of like what we're gonna see in the ring can be very entertaining and arguably the best of the night. It was quickly thrown together, but you talked about it a little bit earlier with, retiring Brock at SummerSlam and stuff like that. This is, all part of the story of how I feel like we still get to Gunther and Brock. Paul's going to owe Gunther big time. Brock's going to talk about his retirement probably leading up to SummerSlam. Gunther's going to say, hey, that favor you owe me, it's Brock's retirement match at SummerSlam. I think that's how we end up getting there. But I do agree with you. I think they twisted it in a very short amount of time to a very perfect storyline angle. I think it's going to be a banger of a match. I think anytime you get Gunther or Seth Rollins in the ring with just about anybody, like you're in for a really good treat of a show. So I think having these two just kind of thrown into the middle of the night, like it'll get people, really like back into the rest of the show.
For sure.
Listen, I'm the Gunther guy. I was the only idiot chanting "Let's go Gunther" in the CM Punk SummerSlam match,
That's true.
and I am a Gunther guy, but
Can't
I
complain.
am not. I this doesn't do it for me, man. Like we're talking about this could be the wrestling match of the night. Well, Punk and Gunther was boring as hell, and I know Seth Rollins is obviously a lot younger and can wrestle just a little bit. Only a little bit more because Punk could when he could. I just don't see how this is going to be exciting, and I know there's the favor and the Paul. I just it's not going to excite me no matter what happens, honestly, unless there's some kind of outside whatever. This just seems like a match that was thrown together with a very minor storyline at best, and I don't get it. I really don't. This is like a 5 out of 10 on both things for me. So yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. We'll get into who we think's gonna win. I think neither of them can lose, right? I mean, I think it's pretty obvious that they're both in spots where they can't lose. Like Gunther just retired, some of the best, and the GOAT Seth is, coming back. He can't lose either. I do think there is a small part of this could be just a setup from Gunther for Paul, like that. Gunther's setting up Seth to get attacked by a returning Braun Breaker. So it might not end up being like an actual match, or if it is, it won't be a long match, and it just ends up Gunther setting up for Breaker to attack Seth, and that's where you get like the favor from Paul. I don't think it's most likely, but I do have Gunther winning on a DQ because Seth gets attacked by Braun Breaker. What about you, David?
Well, if Seth gets attacked, that means he would be the
That's
victor
what I meant.
by
Yeah, that's what I meant.
disqualification. But that is also basically spot on to my prediction because I don't think either of these two can truly afford a loss right now. I do think the rumor was out that Braun Breaker was cleared, but supposedly just not for a full match in time for WrestleMania or enough time to get ready for WrestleMania. But I do think we see him come out and get involved in this match. The only thing I disagree with is I do think it's still going to be a little bit of a lengthy match. I think they give these guys, 10, 15 minutes to really go at each other and really show off some of that wrestling that I was talking about earlier. And then, maybe Seth is lining up for a stomp. The camera's real zoomed in on him, and as soon as he goes, he gets speared. His guts laying in the middle of the ring because Braun Breaker just came in and speared him in half. But I do think that's the ending of Seth and Gunther for sure. Is Braun getting involved?
Yeah, that's the outside interference that would get me excited is ho 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 barking because Braun is finally back. And apparently that was supposed to be the WrestleMania match in the first place. We still kind of get it, but not the start of it. So yeah, that would get me excited. I have the exact same thing happening now that we know Braun is cleared for return. Yeah, so I have basically Seth winning by DQ or whatever because Braun interferes.
Yeah, good to know we're all on the same page for that one. It just seems too obvious, right? I would be shocked if it didn't happen. Just Breaker coming back and finally setting up Seth versus Braun, which we all obviously want to see. And then, like I said, if it is some sort of like setup from Gunther, like I think that would honestly be the perfect play. That way, Gunther still is in touch with Paul and all that. Anything else about this match? All right. Next up, we have Dom versus Demon Finn Balor. The build up for this match, I mean, there hasn't been like much of a direct build up for this match. I mean, they've been Dom and the Judgment Day have attacked Finn the last couple of weeks, setting up this return of the Demon, this pre-announced return of the Demon, which I think is just the worst possible thing. Like this could have been like a perfect WrestleMania moment, right? Like this just had the perfect setup for the return of the Demon, coming out at WrestleMania. This match is late enough in the night where it'll be darker. So like the vibe, it will be perfect for the return of the Demon, and they ruined it by announcing it beforehand. But still am very excited to see the Demon back. Where do y'all at on this?
I mean, I pretty much agree with everything you said. Like, I am super excited to see these two go at it. I am super excited to see the Demon back. I am super pissed off that they announced it beforehand, just taking away that aura, taking away that pop, taking like the pop's not going to be as loud. The reaction from the crowd is not going to be as great. Like you took all of that away from these people by not just playing the music and letting him crawl out for his entrance.
Mm-hmm.
It's still going to be cool. People are still going to be excited, but it's not going to be as cool as it would have been if they would have just let it come as a surprise. And I do agree with a lot of the people that say like vanilla Finn Balor kind of needs a victory because now we're going to get back to the point, just like we were, years ago, where like, oh cool, the Demon's back. He's going to win this match. But if it's just Finn Balor, like he's not going to win. He's just going to keep getting pinned. He's just going to keep being a joke. He's going to keep being pushed
Right.
over. Like we don't want to get to the point where it's just Demon means win, Finn means lose. But I am really still excited for this match for sure. It's a payoff that we've been waiting a long time for.
Yeah, definitely. What about you, Glenn?
The fact that they put Demon Finn on the thing to ruin everything just to sell a couple extra tickets, eat shit. Like, honestly, like, we don't get anything anymore. We don't get surprised at Royal Rumble anymore. We don't get surprised at WrestleMania anymore. Now you take away just a simple Demon Finn coming, even though we all knew it was going to happen most likely. They took that away from us, too. What the hell is going on with this company? TKO just doesn't give a shit. Hey, sell tickets any way you can. Put this, even if we give away spoil, it's just bullshit. Because it's not, that's not how we grew up on wrestling. The surprises are what made wrestling. It wasn't even, we didn't even care about the match. We didn't care about a 5-star wrestling match. You give two shits. We cared about the entrance, and we cared about the surprises. We cared about Stone Cold coming back every freaking second. We don't get none of that no more. I'm so just old, right? That's just what it comes down to. And now we don't even get like I would have been so excited if we just thought it was gonna be regular Finn, even though we were like demons coming, demons coming. Once we heard the freaking thing and saw the match, we would have flipped. And now it's like,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, we knew already now. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm pissed about that, but it should be a great match. I am excited for the match. Again, Dom is going to have a contingency. I want everyone to know that. This is not going to be all for Finn Balor. Dom has fans, especially at WrestleMania. There are a lot of foreign fans that come to WrestleMania. They're going to love Dom. It's going to be a 50-50 crowd. It's going to be great.
Yeah, for sure. Do we think anybody really went out and bought a ticket to WrestleMania just because Demon Finn got announced?
No.
Not really, and that's why you don't have to spoil the goddamn surprise.
Yeah,
Exactly.
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 I mean, yeah, they announced them beforehand. Probably sold no extra tickets for it. We got Pat McAfee on Friday night telling us not to buy tickets at all to night two. Like, we'll get more to that, but yeah, I think this was just fumbled from that point. Whenever they announced that it was the Demon coming back. Because like, there's a difference between us knowing and us being told, and it like we said, it just ruins it. But who do y'all have winning?
I mean, exactly like I was talking about. Like, I don't want it to turn into, okay, Demon Finn Balor means he's winning, and if he's Vanilla Finn Balor means he's losing. Especially for this first time back, announced or not. Like, with everything that's going on, like, I do think Finn Balor comes away with a victory in this one. I do think they've built him up enough to where, like, he can come out of this and kind of go do whatever he wants afterwards. He can go back to the world title picture. He can go back to the IC picture. I mean, imagine, like, if Finn wasn't doing this and he was in the ladder match for the IC. Like, that would be a really fun add to that match. So like I do think Finn has a lot of options after this, and obviously so does Dom. But Dom's kind of got a line of stories that a lot of people are expecting him to go towards. I think Finn kind of needs this victory, Demon or not, to really push him over and get him back into that whatever title picture he wants to be in.
For sure.
Yeah, I mean, I got Finn wins. Demon Finn wins, and we get some interesting things after.
Okay.
That's all I got, yeah.
I do also have Finn winning, but I mean, we've been saying forever that Finn needed something to get pushed back into where he needs to be, and it just hasn't happened, and they haven't let it happen. He fought Punk, a couple times for the title, and it was great, right? Like, we saw what Finn used to be and can still be at the top of the main event, and I am not confident that they will let him win this match and push him past that. I do think he will win, and I do want him to win, but I don't think that they will give him the proper push after this. Just because
I'll say one last thing. I'll say one last thing. Not that wrestlers have all the say in who wins and who loses their matches. I'll be really pissed off at Dom if he decides that he goes over in this match because Finn took so many L's to push Dom throughout the whole Judgment Day thing. He gave him literally match after match after match after good moment after good moment after good moment. If Dom doesn't repay Finn here, bullshit. again, that's only if it's up to who, between
Right.
them, who wins it goes over. But I think this is the time that Dom has to repay Finn for all the times that Finn pushed Dom.
Right. And another thing I will say, I'm so glad that Penta has the IC title, right? But this match would hit so much harder if the title
For
was
the
on the
belt.
line.
I
Yeah.
said it all along. Like
But then we don't get the ladder match.
Yeah. Then
yeah,
we don't get
that's
the
true.
ladder match. Like honestly, like I think I would rather have this match for the title than the ladder match. Like, a returning demon
You're
for the
not you're
IC
not gonna say
title.
that after the ladder match.
Yeah,
You
no,
won't say
I
that.
definitely won't. I definitely won't. Like I already said that, it could be one of the best ladder matches of all time. So I'm
Yeah,
obviously very excited for the ladder match. But
yeah,
like I do think this match would have benefited so much from having the title
They could have put the tag
involved.
women in a ladder match and have this at the IC
yeah,
title. We could have still got a ladder
Yeah,
match one way or the other. So,
yeah,
yeah.
for sure. Anything else to say about this? Next up, we have Sami Zayn versus Trick Williams for the United States Championship. I mean, I
Whoop
think
that trick. Whoop that
yes.
trick.
I made my thoughts very well known last week about Sammy and where he stands or where he stands with me, and we all agree. The fact that this hasn't turned into them adding Mel to the match and now he's hurt and is missing WrestleMania is just a travesty. And now we got Little Yachty involved.
yeah.
Okay. Uh, and he was, I don't know if y'all saw, but he was going after fans on Twitter for complaining about him being involved. And he
Yeah.
was like, I've been a fan my whole life. Like, I deserve this.
So
Blah,
have
blah, blah.
I.
Like,
So have I.
like, oh, wow. Me too, bro.
Yeah.
Anyways, how y'all feeling about this match? What do y'all
Trick Williams. Next question.
think?
Like I.
Trick Williams, next question.
Thank you.
Yeah, in my notes, I wrote, Trick, please, for the love of God.
Perfect.
And give it to Sammy's character lately, though. Sammy's been
Trying.
like, yeah, he's been. It hasn't been status quo per se. It's been like, let me try and like, I know everyone hates me right now, but let me try and like maybe have like 5 fans on my side going into
I
this
don't know,
match.
man. Like last night on SmackDown, like he was like, I don't know why y'all are booing me. Like, what did I
And then they
do?
booed him.
Yeah, and then he was like, I love you, and he got booed. That was hilarious. He told them he loved them, and he got booed. And then he was like, I don't know what I did to deserve this. Like he's like perpetually bitching. Like he's just bitching and the underdog, and nobody cares anymore. Nobody wants you to win. Nobody gives a damn about you anymore, Sammy. Like if he wins, I riot. We don't need to talk about anything else. All right. Next up, we have Jade versus Rhea for the women's world champ or for the WWE Women's Championship. Obviously, we've talked a bunch about the build up for this one. I'm not really any more or less excited than I was a few weeks ago. The addition of Michin and BFAB and them, destroying Io the last couple of shows hasn't really done anything to further my excitement for this match. But it will be a good match, I think. I hope. What do y'all think?
Yeah, I mean, nothing's really changed for me either. Like, I'm a little bit more excited, I think, but everything was kind of drawn out right in front of us. Like, I think a lot of people predicted exactly how this lead up was going to go into WrestleMania, and there's still a lot of reasons in my head where I can see both of these women coming out of this match victorious. So at least that leads me to some excitement as to where, like, I truly don't know who's going to win yet, because I do think that WWE could go with Jade and continue to let her kind of run amok of the women's division and look strong and do this. And, maybe Bianca's ready to come back or whatever the case is. Or they can just go back to the safe pick and let it be Rhea and let her, kind of do her thing and hold the title again. So, like, the excitement is there mostly just because I truly don't know who's going to come out victorious yet.
For sure. Good.
I have a small little twist that we'll talk about when we talk about who's going to win coming around.
Me too.
Again, I thought this was going to be a long ass podcast because I thought we were all going to have different opinions on stuff. You guys, again, it's hard not to agree on stuff when we all watch and feel like the same shit.
Yeah.
I am not any more or less excited than when the match officially was announced after Elimination Chamber and stuff like that. I just feel like I am excited for the match in general just because, like, it's 2 big women. They've been pushing Jade for a year, and it's like she hasn't really been able to do anything. This is her chance to show it. I'm excited to see if she shows it or not. And then there's Rhea Ripley. How can you not be excited just to see her at WrestleMania where she belongs? So yeah, I am excited for it. Not any more excited than when we started though.
Yeah. All right. Let's get into who we think is going to win. I think the only way Jade wins is if Bianca is ready to come back. Because if Jade wins this match, I don't really know what happens after this. No, there's nobody else that can really step up to her and fight her after this. But Rhea, anybody can fight with Rhea. Rhea can go with anybody. This has to be a specific type of person, like build of a person to go and fight Jade. And I don't think there's anybody really on the roster right now that could be believable to go up against Jade after a WrestleMania win. So I do have Rhea winning unless Bianca returns. What about you, David?
Yeah, I mean that's kind of my thing too. Like I do believe if Bianca's ready to come back, that Jade wins, and we get kind of a flashback to years ago with Bianca in the ring herself and Bailey and Damage Control, the return of or the debut of Damage Control coming out and doing all that. Except it's just Bianca coming out and kind of confronting Jade, proving that like, hey, I'm back right at WrestleMania. And I do have a little bit of a twist as well. I hope it's not the same or too much of the same as Glenn's twist, but I like if Rhea wins or if Jade wins as well, like on top of the Bianca thing, I do think it's because of some altercation or something with EO. Like I don't think she directly turns on Rhea, but I think by accident, by something, she just costs Rhea the match to where we can get Rhea and EO going after each other again, or just Rhea's like pissed off because EO cost her, and then we can also get Jade and Bianca out of it as well. Or like I said from the beginning, like just the safe pick of Rhea winning the title and taking it. I think at the end of the day, I'm gonna lean Jade just because I want to see the options that come of it. But like if you're actually asking me, I want Rhea to win, but I think storyline wise, it just makes more sense with Jade.
Yeah, I mean that was the twist. That I do think that Mishin and what's her face come out, and then I think Io comes out, and I think she starts off like it seems like she's gonna help Rhea because she's getting beat down by someone that's not Jade. But then I think Io beats the hell out of Rhea. I think she completely turns on her, and I think that we get what we want because we keep asking for it. Now we get Rhea Ripley versus Io Sky, and we get sick matches for days, and I'm going to be completely excited about that. So I think that's where it leads to. I think Jade wins. I don't think Bianca, even if Bianca's like ready, it'll be a bit. I think they'll give Jade somebody else first before Bianca, but we're going to get that eventually. Yeah, I got Jade winning based on Io interfering and beating the hell out of Rhea Ripley.
Yeah, I mean, I can't really see Io like completely turning on Rhea. I mean,
Yeah.
we did get Rhea and Io quite a bit last year, like leading up to last year's WrestleMania. Like that was like a whole big
But we
thing
got them
leading into
both as
WrestleMania.
faces. This would
Yeah,
be a first time where it's like, what happens when one's an actual heel? But again, I still don't. It's gonna be hard for her to be a heel. Like that's probably where you're going with it. It's gonna be hard because people love her too much and stuff like that.
yeah,
But maybe I mean, you turn on the most popular person in the industry right now. You never know what happens.
yeah. She would have to be she would have to absolutely destroy Rhea and get that get as much heat as possible in order for people to actually boo her and hate her. But I
See, and
mean,
that's why I do think it's just like the other way around. Like I do think it's just Io like accidentally costing Rhea the match, and then it
yeah.
would be Rhea to be the one to turn back heel and just really destroy Io. And like maybe that's why the destruction of Io has been kind of light from Jade and them the last couple of weeks
Hmm.
because now they're gonna really let Rhea just put her in the ground.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll see. One thing, I don't know if y'all seen Rhea on Twitter last week. She's been the corniest person I have ever
Yeah.
seen. Talking about EO. What did she say? I won't let this happen again. Okay, calm down. It's just the corniest thing. SmackDown too last night when she was talking to Rio or to EO.
It's been corny. It's disgusting. They've been like all over each other like they're a lesbian couple for like 8 months now, and I'm sick of it. That's why I want you to just beat the hell out of her. We need it. We need something new. I'm tired of them all up on each other. Like, bro, this is weird. I'm starting to get like really concerned that something's going on that we don't know about. So they,
Do you
they
think
need to, they need to do something.
Buddy's asking some questions when Rhea
Buddy's
gets hella
been well,
irritated?
no, I don't think. I think he's asking questions, but not the ones you think he's asking. He's like, listen, if there is something going on, come over to the house. But
Yeah, but so I think this will be a good match if it's done correctly. It should kind of have the same vibe as Brock and Oba. Just like straight up, or brawl. Like, it's two of the most muscular women in the division going at it. Like, it should be a good match. Moving on, we have Stephanie Vacquer versus Liv Morgan for the Women's World Championship. This has probably been the best build of any of the matches outside of maybe Brock and Oba. I think the build. I was excited for this match when it first got it, when Liv won the Rumble and announced that she was going after Stephanie, but it's going to be a good match, but the build has made me exponentially more excited for this match. It feels personal, and it feels real, and it's going to be a great match. What do y'all think?
I mean, I agree with everything you said. Like, I'm really excited for it. This is probably the most excited I am for any of the women's matches that are going on over WrestleMania. Like, it does feel very personal. It does feel very real. These are two women that can go with just about anybody in the ring, and I think having them go with each other is going to be really entertaining. Similar size, similar wrestling styles and stuff like that. Like, I think it's going to be a really good match. And I'm kind of sad with the way my prediction is going to go with this match, but we'll get there when we get there. We'll let Glenn talk about what he's thinking first.
Y'all know me and Liv, we go way back. But yeah, you know me and Steph, we go way back. And she's still wearing pants. I better not see those pants at WrestleMania. I'm turning this shit off. This has been a great build up.
Wait,
I
let me
did
add
think
it
it
to
was
the
a
Glenn
little.
Pants tracker.
I did think it was a little corny when Liv was like trying to tug me through my dream, and I was like, oh my god. But I liked it at the same. It was corny, but I liked it at the same time. It's been a great build up. It's like an 8 out of 10 build up, 8 out of 10 excitement. I don't know who wins this match. That's why I'm excited for it. I have no idea. I'm 50-50 on it. So.
Anything else to say about like the build up or about the match itself before we get into the winner? All right. I think Stephanie will win because Roxanne and maybe even Raquel turn on Liv. So I do think Stephanie will retain the championship and that Liv will be left all alone on her lonesome in the ring. What about you, David?
Now, what I want to happen would be pretty much exactly what you just said, whether it be Roxanne or Roxanne and Raquel turning on Liv. I just want to see that faction just be completely broken up now that Dom and Finn are going at it. Like, we didn't get a full answer from Roxanne before Stephanie made their faces like collide at 100 miles an hour. I think that could have been, we don't know what Roxanne was going to say. Maybe she was going, well, Liv, I'm going to do this instead. We're really not sure what was going to happen there. So it could be something along those lines. I do want Stephanie Vacquer to come out victorious. But also, if Stephanie were to win, this would be her big, like, really big pushover moment, make her, finalize her in this main event scene. But I do think it's a kind of time for Liv Morgan. Like, it was clear they were ready to push her and put her back in this title picture before she got hurt the last time. And I think now is just kind of that makeup for her, like, hey, you won the Rumble, you're going to come in, you're going to win at WrestleMania, you're going to carry this title, you're going to be the big face. Like, Stephanie's been kind of getting all these small injuries and stuff a lot lately, and maybe, like I said with Drew earlier, maybe she gets some time off, maybe something happens, whatever the case is. But I think if I'm actually predicting, I do think they're going to go with Liv, at least post-WrestleMania here moving forward, before maybe down the line, SummerSlam or something, Stephanie can come and win it back.
Mm-hmm. What about you,
I
Glenn?
agree with what you said, Nick. I just think it happens differently. I think that Liv wins, then they turn on her. I think
Yeah.
that she'll be holding
Mm.
the belt up and they'll be like pretending to hug and stuff like that. And then all of a sudden you see Raquel and Roxy look at each other and they beat the absolute, yeah, shit like that, the Orton shit. That's exactly what I think happens. And then we probably get Raquel versus Liv after that. And that'll be, because again, Raquel going into Elimination Chamber, we were like, hey, she could win this. She's getting pushed hard, this and that. This is what it was all for, I feel like, for her to finally take the belt away from Liv. And when, I don't know. I don't know if it's going to be all the way to SummerSlam. I don't know if it's going to be at, like, what's the next pay-per-view? I think it's like Payback or something like that. Maybe somewhere around along
Backlash.
there.
Backlash,
Yeah,
yeah.
Backlash. There we go. But yeah, that's what I have happening. So I agree with you. I just think that they turn on her after she has the belt, because then they could do whatever they want basically and go get the belt.
Yeah. I do think this needs to end with the complete implosion of the Judgment Day as a whole. Like,
Yeah.
and we've been saying that for a while now that the Judgment Day
Yeah.
needed to go. But if there was ever a moment for it to happen, it's the WrestleMania. And so I'm perfectly fine with Liv winning, especially if it leads to Liv and Rox, Liv and Raquel down the line. Especially if Stephanie does need some time off. I just don't know where Stephanie goes after this. She kind of has the same problem that Tiffany, she would probably have the same problem that Tiffany has now, is that, like, when you get pushed up to the, like, top of the top right away. Well, Tiffany took a while with the briefcase, but I mean, Stephanie came in, got pushed to the top basically right away. Where do you go after that? So I do think if Stephanie wins, she's kind of left in WWE limbo that they have quite a bit of people in. Or if Stephanie loses, that's she would be in like WWE limbo. But I'm perfectly fine with either option winning. Like I said, I do have Stephanie winning because of them turning on. But anything else about this match?
Triple threat is the answer, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Shit, fatal four way.
True.
Just keep Stephanie involved.
All right. Y'all ready? All right. We are moving on to the main events next. Which one do y'all want to talk about first?
Night one.
All right. Let's do it. All right. Night one. Cody versus Randy for the WWE Universal Championship. Where do we even start, man? I just want to say, like, this was the layup of layups. Like, when Randy first won, there was no possibility in my mind that WWE could screw this up. The feud built itself. There's 20 years of history. It's Randy Orton. It's Cody Rhodes. Like, there could have been no possible way that they mess it up. But here we are with Pat McAfee on the graphic for the match. And Jelly Roll involved. He's going to be involved. He's going to be in Cody's corner probably. I just honestly don't know how we reached this point, Like, it just all happened so fast. Randy on the phone, and then it's Pat McAfee. Like, and what do y'all think? I'll give y'all an opportunity to talk.
I mean, I'm kind of at the same point you are. Like, every time I think about it, it just kind of like, it puts me in like a lost train of thought because I'm like, well, how did we get here? Why did we need to do this? Like, there was no need for this. Like you said, there's 20 years of wrestling history. The whole, part of the phone call where wrestling has more than one royal family. Like, even if it was the boring old 80-year-old like Cowboy Bob Orton, like it would have made more sense. It would have fit this story better. Pat McAfee just doesn't make sense, and like the things that he's saying to like get people to not like Randy or to boo this, heel Randy that we're supposed to be booing now, like it's actually benefiting a lot of people, you know what I mean? Like people that want to go to WrestleMania, like, hey, yeah, I'll take 25. Like, yeah, sure, it's only night one. But like, yeah, I'll take 25% off your expensive ass WrestleMania tickets. You know what I mean? Like, we're not going to WrestleMania. If we were like, yeah, 25% off is 25% off. I mean, if they're $400 tickets, you're saving $100. I would absolutely take that. So it's interesting the way they're deploying him. The more he talks, the more I am like interested in hearing what he's saying about it. But I go back to the WrestleMania match itself, and there was just no need for him.
Yeah. Like Pat's promos the last couple weeks, like they've been good promos. Like what he's saying is good, and I like it, and it's good. But it shouldn't be Pat McAfee saying it. Like it's just there's no reason for him specifically to be involved. And obviously, like all this stuff has come out about it was TKO's decision. They inserted Pat into the match, tried to sell tickets, and we've gotten a couple of what has been reported to be shoot promos from Cody and Punk about it at TKO. Like there's a lot of like it seems like there's a lot of drama backstage, and it seems like a lot of the talent is upset with how this is being handled. But in terms of like the actual match, Randy feels like an afterthought now. Like this feels like Pat McAfee versus Cody Rhodes versus CM Punk. Like Punk got mentioned more on SmackDown than Randy did, and he is this legend in the business, and he's Randy Orton.
Yeah.
He's an afterthought in his own main event of WrestleMania. What about you, Glenn? I'm sure you have a lot of thoughts.
Is this the least excited you've ever been for main events at WrestleMania? Because I went into this like, there's no way Punk and Reigns is going to be bad. There's no way Randy versus Cody is going to be bad.
Yeah.
And now I think there's many ways it can be bad. And don't get me wrong, I understand the business aspect of anything. I'm all about the business side of things. But how many more tickets did Pat McAfee sell? I know he's got a big podcast. I know, but he's always talks wrestling on there. There's nothing
Right.
new that he's doing now that he wasn't doing before, except exclusively talking about it. But he was already kind of doing that, and it's like, why? Why is he's TKO wants him? I think that's a bunch of bull. I think WWE somehow wanted this, and they're putting it on TKO because he goes like, we don't care. Whatever you got to do to sell tickets, do it. If you blame us, blame us. Because guess what? All these Punk promos and all these, if these promos weren't approved by TKO, they're not getting put on the damn air. they're not shooting and all of a sudden like they're not gonna risk their, especially Punk right now. He's not gonna do it. It's just I know this isn't the old Punk where he did it with Vince McMahon. These are TKO approved promos. So I don't understand why. I just hope Randy Orton RKO's the hell out of Pat McAfee. I hope he just destroys Cody to win this match for his next belt, and we all forget about all this crap. But it's just been terrible. This has been terrible. It's been a terrible build up. It's been my excitement level is as low as it could possibly be for people that I genuinely have top five on my all time list, and like Roman Reigns and Randy Orton. And I just
Yeah,
it has not been good.
yeah. No, it's been so it's like just been so insane how we've gotten here.
Yeah.
And I mean, like my aside from it being Pat that got inserted into this, my biggest problem with it is that, like I just said, like Randy is an afterthought in this now. You know, like
Yeah.
Randy has not talked in 3 weeks. You know, he hasn't. Him and Cody haven't talked in 3 weeks. Like it's just been all now between Pat and Cody, and that why like. You know, we said that them pre-announcing Demon sold 0 tickets. I
Don't
think
forget
this
Jelly
sold.
Rolling this mug now. Like I like
Yeah,
what?
yeah, we said announcing Demon Finn sold 0 tickets. This sold negative tickets. Like people sold
People
their
sold
tickets.
their tickets. Yeah.
Like it. Yeah, I don't know. I don't really know what else to say. And then now we got Jelly Roll. Like we're gonna have Jelly Roll and Liv or in Pat McAfee out there for the main event of WrestleMania for Randy Orton and Cody Rhodes. Like
Just to lead to an eventual tag team match, probably.
yeah, probably. Like they're probably gonna tag at
At
Backlash.
Backlash.
Ooh, wow. Yeah, I don't know. Do we? So I have seen a lot of people talk about this could eventually lead to like a team WWE versus a team TKO storyline further on down the road. What you all think about that?
Listen, is my faith in them very high to write the story correctly? Absolutely not. But do I think that something from like now to let's say Survivor Series, it building as like a hey, this is the WWE side. It's all the old school wrestlers, and not even all the old school. Like even someone like a Stephanie Vacquer, let's say, would still be a team WWE because she's like wrestling to the bone. She did it the old school way. She came up through the indies. She did all this stuff. Like, and then there's going to be Team TKO where it's like, hey, we got the Hollywood guys, we've got the celebrities, we've got this. Like, they can easily build a very long term story between these two major companies that are all technically one and rivaling each other and like doing all this stuff. And like, I mean, even right at WrestleMania, the way it is right now, like Brock versus Oba could be seen as like a TKO versus Team WWE type deal. You know, like there's so much going on to where if they do want to go that route from the outside looking in, like my excitement level is very high. But like I said, my faith in their writing to actually make it as exciting as I would want to be for it isn't there at the same time.
Yeah, you know, see, like my thing with this storyline, if it does end up happening, or I don't think it will end up happening because if this is real, like drama and you know real backlash backstage in the locker room and in, like they're not going to run with the story, especially if like if those promos were actual shoots and they were calling out TKO, like they're not going to run this with the storyline. They should because it would be a great storyline and it would bring up real emotions and real things and real topics, but they won't. They definitely would not. But I mean, who knows what happens next? What about you?
The
What
thing
about you?
is,
How do you feel about it?
whether or not it was supposed to, if it was approved, if it was like, let's go do this or not, there was still some truth in what was being said. Even
Hmm.
though like, so I feel like whatever they do after, if they do want to do this TKO WWE thing, which would be probably the best scenarios to come out of all this, it doesn't have to be like, you don't have to worry about if it was scripted or not. It wouldn't matter. It literally wouldn't
Yeah.
matter. For one, it's wrestling. For two, because they, they still meant what they said. You know what I'm saying? Like talking to CM Punk saying like lower ticket prices. True. We're not sold out at WrestleMania for like the last couple of years because you guys have been charging outrageous prices. Lower the damn prices. TKO knows this. Maybe they wanted to say that so that then let's let a wrestler say it so that when we do it, it's because like we want to look like we're having a, you know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah,
it was done okay, but this just is. I want to be hyped up for the people that are in the match, not
yeah,
a storyline between companies. Like this isn't Stone
yeah.
Cold versus the Alliance. Like this is just yeah. Let's just get into who wins.
Um, before we get into who wins, I do want to say like I think Punk's promo definitely was like pre-approved, right? It was kind of tame, but I think Cody's promo on Friday after Pat got involved, like I think that was real. I mean, 'cause it was not in.
I
I don't
think it
think it
was
was.
more. I'm with you. I think it was more because it happened on the same show. Like
Yeah,
at first he got beat up to start or whatever. Then he came back out later. So I think it was more like maybe they just made a mention like go, and he said everything from the heart, whatever this and that, which is why it
yeah.
sucked. Which we can, if you want to argue that we can, but regardless, I think he said it in his own mind how he would have said it if it's real, fake, whatever. That was Cody Rhodes talking from the heart for sure. So I agree with you there.
Yeah, I mean, let's get into who wins and how. If you have any like weird things going on, what about you? Let's start with you, David.
I mean, there's definitely a part of me that thinks there is going to be some kind of kooky shenanigans going on, whether it be Pat, whether it be Jelly, whether it be another outside person, somebody else getting involved, whatever the case may be. But at the end of the day, I do have Randy coming out of this victorious with his 15th title in hand. I do think, especially with the way they've pushed it so much and gotten it to this point, they have to do something with it. And I just think like they've built this up to have Randy come in, and it probably ends up turning a lot into like last year. If let's say none of this TKO WWE stuff ends up happening, where maybe we're a little disappointed in Orton Cody 1 at WrestleMania, just like everybody was a little disappointed in Cena Cody 1 at WrestleMania last year. And then at SummerSlam, we get the payoff. But it shouldn't have to be that way every year. We shouldn't have to keep getting disappointed at WrestleMania due to celebrity involvement, due to all this outside stuff, to just have it be a rematch once again at SummerSlam. Like, I don't want to see
Yeah,
them twice at the two biggest pay-per-views of the year. But
yeah.
either way, like, I think Randy Orton comes out victorious in this match.
Yeah, the parallel between this year and last year with Travis Scott is it's really unnerving. And like no I don't see how they're doing this again when everybody hated what they did with Travis Scott last year. Like just for them to basically do the same thing over again with another legend, like I don't know, man. All right, what about you, Glenn?
I do have Randy winning because it is the only option in the damn world that I'd be okay with right now after all the shit that's gone on. And I think to answer your question about I can't see why that because WWE slash TKO slash the big business, they only care now that they're on ESPN that ESPN can announce that all these big superstars and celebrities and stuff like that are intertwined with WWE. They don't care what the people think about the matches. They don't care what the people think about the build-up. They don't care what the people think about anything. All they care about is all the newbies and all the casuals that say wrestling sucks. All of a sudden, they're like, wait, Jelly Roll likes wrestling? Wait, Travis Scott likes wrestling? Wait, a little Yachty likes wrestling? Wait, Pat McAfee, an athlete, and like that's all they care about. They don't care about why all three of us think this is a stupid storyline. Why would they care? This is all about making it seem like WWE is the thing that everybody in the world loves and wants to talk about, no matter who you are, no matter if you're a country singer, a rapper, a jazz musician, whatever. So that's what they're all about. Hopefully Randy Orton just wins to save face here because I'm so damn angry at why my
Yeah.
WrestleManias are being my Royal Rumbles have already sucked, and now you're gonna take away my WrestleManias too. Like I'm so angry right now. I'm not even gonna lie to you.
Yeah. I mean, you all know that I'm a big Cody fan, but I do agree that the only way that this can pay off and actually make sense is with Randy winning. And like I'm sure if Randy wins, Cody will win it somewhere down the line because it seems like it can only be Cody and somebody else in the SmackDown main event picture right now. So I'm not. I don't really have faith that it's going to be a great match. Like it should be in theory. It's Cody Rhodes and
Yeah.
Randy Orton. Like it should be a great match, but they've just completely took any excitement that we all had for this out of it. Like
How is Cena and Cody gonna be better? We don't know that yet. It hasn't happened yet. Don't let me not say it.
yeah, but I don't know, man. Like I think the crowd's going to be absolutely dead for this match. Like I don't think there's going to be a big pop for anything. Like really, unless like
The
especially because
introduction
like
should be
No.
good though. Like they'll
Yeah,
yeah,
say
the
Randy Orton song.
entrances and stuff.
yeah.
Yeah, they're
They'll do
still
the
gonna be.
wow, and then
But
after that, maybe during the match, it'll just be like,
once the match starts, like I don't
yeah,
think
yeah.
anybody's gonna care, especially if Pat gets involved. Like I mean, I guess if Pat gets involved, like it'll rain boos and like
Yeah.
we'll get some sort of reaction. But other than that, like I don't think that I think they've taken any interest in this match and just like completely like tied it up and thrown it out the window. But I mean, I could be wrong. I guess I probably am. But
They definitely have the opportunity to like turn a lot of people around. You know what I mean? I think they know that a lot of people are now not as nearly invested in this match as they were to begin with. And like there's definitely a couple things that, while we're watching it, where if I'm watching my screen at WrestleMania and I go, shit, that was shocking or that was different. Like there's still a couple ways I think that they could probably save themselves a little bit here, but
Mm-hmm.
overall it's still just so questionable.
Yeah, and another thing, like if I think if this is gonna be a great match, we need like actual heel Randy tactics. If
Yeah.
they like he's not. I don't think he's gonna get booed. Like he's not getting booed. Pat is getting booed. Like right now,
Yeah.
they're getting boos while they're out there, but it's for Pat, not
It's
for Randy. But I don't care if Randy gets booed or not. Like we need him to act like heel Randy. We need
Don't
09
forget,
Randy.
Cody was getting booed before this shit happened. Everybody's getting
yeah.
booed now. Our fucking
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, dude.
I don't know. They kind of like the crowd's kind of turned it back towards Cody now. I don't know if y'all noticed last night,
They
but
don't have
like
a choice, man. This is sad. This is sad, bro.
this is just WWE's grand plan of getting everybody back on Cody's side. But yeah, like I need '09 Randy. I need villain. I need all that. Like I need if Randy's gonna win, I need Cody to get punted.
Yeah.
Like that would save the match for me if we get actual like diabolical Orton back, which I'm also not confident that that'll happen either. But I mean, anything else to say about all this? Hopefully, Jelly Roll dies. I mean, in the match, not for real.
In Minecraft, right? Yeah. In
Yeah, yeah,
Minecraft.
yeah.
In my
Anything else to say? No. All right, cool. All right, let's move on to Roman and Punk for the WWE World Championship. I think
Here we go again.
I've been pretty happy with the build for this match. Like it hasn't been crazy. It hasn't been the best that it could have been, but I think it has been pretty good. And I am excited for this match. And I think if there's a match that we're going to get shenanigans in, it actually is going to be this one rather than Cody and Randy. But what do y'all think about this match and the build up?
No, I mean, I do think they've kind of done the best with what they could. Obviously, we talked about, their back and forth before they started to get physical and how there could have been a little bit more there. Once the physicality started, obviously, it got to be a lot more entertaining and a lot more like, okay, this is starting to feel a little bit more real, at least. Like, yeah, the words they were saying, like, really made it feel personal, but at least, like, they finally got to the point where it's just like, okay, I'm gonna, it's on site. Like, if I see you, it's over. We're fighting. Like, it doesn't matter. Um, so like I'm definitely more excited for this one overall than I am for the Cody Randy match. I do think there is a lot more possibility for shenanigans. I do think there's a lot of things that can go on outside of the ring, inside of the ring. And I think it's overall been built fairly well. So like I'm excited to see two of WWE's biggest names like go at it in the true main event of WrestleMania.
For sure.
Yeah, I mean, by default, I guess I'm more excited for this one. But it hasn't been that much better to me. Like it's just been. I mean, they've tried to make it a thing with that. I mean, we almost got Finn Balor versus like if Finn Balor wins that match, which I thought he was about to, we might not even have like. Oh man, it's been a clusterfuck. I'm not even gonna lie. I want when we first started this podcast, we were just before we even like got on here, we all told each other, hey, we're not gonna be those guys that talk about we know the industry ins and outs and things like that, and we're gonna try to be more positive than negative. Then WWE'd us, and now I don't have a choice but to be negative because This is WrestleMania. Like of course I'm gonna watch it. Of course I'm gonna be excited. You could tell me that it's gonna be two sumo wrestlers and that's it. I would still watch because it's WrestleMania. It's WWE. But they've taken away my excitement, and that's the only thing we have when we get older is like the excitement for things we had when we loved when we were kids. I don't have that right now, so I'm pissed because of that. And
Yeah.
it's like nothing that could happen in this match outside of The Rock coming back, which I don't think he's coming back, would get me super excited. If Roman wins, cool. CM Punk wins, cool. What now? What did you do to give me something that like I have faith in you that you're gonna turn this into something amazing? Zero. Remember when they came out to Triple H like said before he got fired, zero confidence. That's what I have right now. Zero confidence in anything that's going on right now, and it sucks because I don't want to come on here. I wanted to come on here and There's some kid just came on here and said, "You gonna watch AEW?" I want to shit all over AEW, but I'm shitting on WWE right now. So it's like
Yeah.
I don't want to do that. But do we have a choice, guys? Like honestly, right now, forget the Punk Roman result for 1 second. Are you going into this WrestleMania any more hyped than you were for any other WrestleMania? Are we going into this WrestleMania as defeated as we've ever been going into WrestleMania? Because we went to the Philadelphia Wrestle, and I'm not trying to put that as a barrier because we can't put the best WrestleManias to a barrel at times. It's not always going to be that way. But we've gotten nothing.
Yeah.
We've got nothing. So just tell how you guys feel about give me a general feeling of, is this the lowest you've ever felt going into a WrestleMania?
Yeah, I mean, like last year's build up was not great, right? Especially following the build up for WrestleMania 40. And this year's was getting good, and then it just completely tanked it. Like the last 2 weeks, the two most important weeks probably of the wrestling calendar, leading up to WrestleMania has just totally tanked any excitement for most of the matches. I mean, all the matches that we've talked about, like they're good and they should be good, but the excitement is just not there. It does not feel like a normal WrestleMania. And like
It
you
feels
said,
like
we're
a
gonna
Saturday
watch.
night main event.
Yeah. And like you said, we're gonna watch. We're gonna watch, and I think that's part of the problem. They know that. They know that we're all gonna watch anyways. They know we're not gonna cancel our ESPN Unlimited subscriptions. There's not really any pressure for them to actually deliver. They're still selling out all these shows. I mean, they're not selling out WrestleMania, but they're selling out all these weekly shows on Raw and SmackDown. So there's really no incentive for them to change how they're doing things right now. But yeah, what about you, David?
I mean, I I can't say that this is the least excited I've ever been. Like there was definitely some dark times within WWE in the last, 10 or so years to where, I mean, there were years I didn't watch WrestleMania at all until maybe a week or a month after it was even on, just because I really didn't care about the product and, in the moment. But definitely during a time period where I truly care and I'm fully invested in WWE, and we're hopping on the camera most weeks to talk about it now and stuff like that. Like, yeah, as somebody who is fully invested, like they have to do a lot during WrestleMania weekend now to make me be like, damn, they fixed that, or like, damn, they did that. Like, oh, it's worth it. Whatever the case may be. Like, they can, at least to me, like there are still things that can happen during WrestleMania weekend that can bring my excitement level or like my wow factor right back up. But leading into it, yeah, it's pretty low. Like I'm just kind of hoping that I get something to make me enjoy watching everything that I'm watching.
I mean,
Yeah.
this all started with them going back to Vegas. What happened to
Mm-hmm.
and I don't even remember last year's WrestleMania. I know I remember Cena. I remember Cody. I don't remember. I don't remember anything that happened last WrestleMania. That's like a shame because I remember.
Yep.
I could tell you the main event from 2010 to. I could tell you even the Batista versus Orton match that no one even cared about. That was a main event that no turned out to be a good match. I cannot put my just everything about it was wrong. Going back to Vegas, back to back, started it all, and it's like everything then since has been downhill. And
Yep.
I don't get. And now we're going to Saudi next year. We're
Yeah,
going to
that's what
Saudi
I was
next
gonna
year.
say.
So supposedly, like I know that a lot of stuff's going on. Trump, whatever, this and that. But yeah, I just I don't know what to say. Whoever's watching this, let us know like how you feel, like your
Yep.
genuine feeling. Are you excited going into this WrestleMania? Are you like hopelessly optimistic? Are you like me where you're just like literally the only thing that could save this is if they do something crazy. They have to do something crazy, which they have not done in years. Yeah, so I don't know. I don't know how else to rant. I don't know what else to say. I don't even care who wins this match.
Yeah.
I'm not even gonna lie. I do not care who wins this match because it doesn't matter who wins this match anymore. Like we all talked about who needs it more. Who needs it? It's Roman Reigns and CM Punk. They both don't need it and they both do need it at the same time. Like we talked about Roman Reigns needing it because he hasn't really won the big one in a long time. So I guess he does need it a little bit more. And I like Roman and I don't really like CM Punk. But if Roman loses this, I'm just gonna be pissed off regardless already. So it's like
Yeah.
it's whatever at this point.
Let's get back to the actual match now. Our rant time is over. We all mentioned some shenanigans that could happen, but what do you think could happen, David? Like what do you think is most likely to happen?
I mean, my number one most likely. I mean, obviously we're gonna like. I do think we see the Usos. Like, yeah, they're already
Yeah.
involved during WrestleMania weekend, but like, I don't think it ends there. Like, I do truly believe like even last night on SmackDown, we saw, and yes, they ended up fighting afterwards, but like we saw interaction once again between the MFTs and Jacob Fatu, which we hadn't seen since Jacob was taken out, those months ago, all those months ago, and he had to miss that time and whatnot. Like Glenn was talking about things that could, happen or solve it or fix it or, whatever, save the day. I think it would be really cool. Punk does not have enough backup, in my opinion, to solve all of these issues. But if we can get a reformation of like the OG bloodline, even if it's just for the night, where like the Usos come out and maybe they get taken out by LA Knight or something like that, and then it's like, oh, here comes Solo and Jacob next. Like, even if it's not all the MFTs, like I just want some of the main guys to come out and be like, yeah, Roman's whole thing this whole time has been like he can't do it alone, or Punk's thing too, Roman. But like I don't think he has to do it alone. Like he's the tribal chief for a reason. He's the head of the table. He's got a whole tribe. He's got a whole family with him. Like he doesn't have to do it alone. And like if they want to get back to when WWE was at its prime, when it was at its most entertaining point, what was it during WrestleMania 40? It was Bloodline rules. The Bloodline was running the show. The Samoans were running the show. And that could lead to The Rock coming back. I mean, even if it's not for the match or for that, like, we get back to the Bloodline situation, that's just the easiest ticket to have The Rock walk back into the building.
I do think with it being in Saudi next year, I do think there's a pretty good chance that The Rock makes an appearance. Maybe not at WrestleMania, but at some point this year to try to set up a Roman Rock match that has been teased forever now. And I don't really think anybody really wants that anymore. Like the time to do it was 2-3 years ago, but I do think there's a pretty big possibility that we do see The Rock potentially at WrestleMania this year. That we'll just never see another payoff for.
Yeah.
When he came out at Bad Blood, who just never got anything. Yeah, never got anything done with that. Who do y'all think? Who do you think's gonna win, David?
I am acknowledging my tribal chief. I will show you by the signature I have on this belt right here. Roman Reigns is walking out of WrestleMania the champion.
Yeah. What about you, Glenn?
I obviously want Roman to win. That's my guy. I obviously think he needs to win more. So I'm gonna go with Roman Reigns winning this match. And if he doesn't win, I'll put a stipulation there. If Roman Reigns doesn't win this match, then I can no longer take him as the guy that he was in the bloodline. And there will be a big story, or it should be, that Roman can't do it himself. If he doesn't win this match, then there needs to be some kind of storyline, maybe with the Usos, not turning on him, but coming out like, "Hey, you know what, blood? You haven't been relevant since we left." Like, something. Give me something like that. Give me if that doesn't happen. So, but yeah, and if Punk wins, Punk's got shit talk ammo for days for everyone. Like, y'all said I'm too old for this, and here I am as a champ. So good things can still happen from this. Don't take my negativity as like we can't have a great turnaround on Monday Night Raw.
Right, yeah.
I'm just you know what I'm saying. But yeah, I'm gonna go with Roman Reigns winning. But if he doesn't, interesting shit can still happen.
Yeah, I mean, as fast as WWE has turned us off from this build-up in WrestleMania, I mean, with a good WrestleMania, like they could just as easily pull us back in and get us, ready to go and excited and pulled
That's
in.
The beauty of it. That's the beauty. That's the beauty of it all.
So with that said, I'm obviously a big Punk guy. I would love if Punk won. I do not think Punk will win. I do have Roman winning just because of where I think WWE wants to go after WrestleMania. I do think Roman makes the most sense. But I do not want him to win. I just want to make that clear. I want CM Punk to win.
Cut that out, editor. Cut that out.
That's me?
You. Sorry. Yeah, that's
you. Yeah, so I do think Roman will win, but and depending on what happens in the match, I do think it will be a good match. It is Roman Reigns and CM Punk. But yeah, all right. Anything else to say about Roman and Punk or about WrestleMania in general? Any other topics y'all want to talk about?
Man, like I just hope it's good. Like we've already got some announcements for the go home episode of SmackDown. We are going to see hopefully the final payoff to the Wyatts versus the MFTs on SmackDown. They're having an 8-man, no holds barred tag team match. We are getting the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal on SmackDown, so I'm interested to see what they do with that. I'm expecting probably like a Royce Keys or something like that to win that match. Somebody that just needs that little extra push, right off the rip. So we are seeing a couple of things culminate, and obviously, like, yeah, they're not as good as they were 10, 15, 20 years ago, but the Raw after WrestleMania, the SmackDown after WrestleMania, like that's when we lead and we start to get into our new storylines. We get to, have all the new information and where we're going to be heading afterwards. So to me, at least, like that's almost just as exciting to look forward to as WrestleMania itself.
Yeah, for sure. One thing One thing that just popped in my mind is anybody gonna watch the Hall of Fame? Like that thing is on at midnight Eastern time. Like, is anybody actually gonna watch that?
Yes, but
The
not
next
on
day.
the release day. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Not
Yeah, the
not
watching
next
the
live
day.
replay.
for sure.
Yeah.
It's crazy to me that they're having it at that time. You know, like I don't know. Anyways,
They
anything,
they
anything.
they have to they have to find a way to make it its own event, like separate
Yeah,
from everything else, just because like I understand why they do it. I mean, like they still have all these superstars and these personnel and these producers and all that at SmackDown, and then they're traveling to get to the Hall of Fame ceremony, or they have to do the setup if they're keeping it at the same location, or whatever the case is. Like they can't do it directly after SmackDown, kind of like they used to. But having it start at midnight Eastern, 11 o'clock for Nick and I mean it is crazy. Like it feels like it's more of a process that is just for the people in attendance now than it is
yeah,
for the rest of us sitting at home.
yeah, for sure. Anything else you want to talk about, Glenn?
No, I don't want to say any more negative shit. I'm pretty much, but I will. This is what I'm gonna say. They can easily, like you guys said, turn this around. I could
Yeah,
come out of WrestleMania saying this is
Yeah,
the best WrestleMania of all time because we have the talent. We get to see Trick Williams. We get to see Femi. We get to see Brock Lesnar. We get to see Roman Reigns, CM Punk, Cody Rhodes, Randy Orton. This is still, Liv Morgan, Stephanie. This is still an absolutely star-studded WrestleMania. We still are getting all the superstars that we usually get. It's just that none of these stories have been good, apparently, in my opinion. But if you can have the payoff be worth it, maybe we could change our minds. So this is
yeah,
a call to WWE. Give us something more than you advertised for once. You already took the demon shit away from us. That could have
yeah,
been one thing that was like, holy crap, we have something new. This is great. Took that away from us. Give us, even if you are gonna give us the Rock, make it something where it's like not just he comes in and goes like this, like he did to Cody, and then he leaves. Give us something
hmm
like, and then yeah, with the Travis Scott Rock thing, we were talking about it has to build up. Like we have to have something after. No, we don't, because we never got anything with Travis Scott after what happened. So we don't have to get anything after. We could just get these
hmm
celebrities; they all go away,
yeah.
and that would suck because there's no build up. So just hopefully we get a good WrestleMania. Hopefully we get some surprises, and hopefully we don't have to go on to the recap show after and be still pissed off. Well, hopefully we just get some crazy shit like we did, back in Philly.
I would say
Yeah.
come make sure you come back and find out on that recap show. Are we still pissed off? Are we excited? Are we happy about what happened? Specifically, Glenn. Like, is he
Did I
even
take my
here
talents to
anymore?
AEW like the comment said?
Yeah, exactly.
It could happen. It could happen.
So with that, like they just said, we will be doing our WrestleMania recap after WrestleMania. And I also just wanted to shout out we over the past week and a half we have gained almost 10 subscribers. So I just wanted to shout out everybody who subscribed over the last week. And if you like what you're seeing, share it with your friends, tell them to subscribe. Follow us on TikTok, like us on Facebook, all of that stuff. Anything you do, comment, leave comments below. Tell us how we're doing. Tell us if we're stupid. Tell us what you agree with. Tell us what you don't agree with. Just let us know how you're feeling. And we appreciate all of you for listening. And we'll see you after WrestleMania. The next time we will know what happens. All right. See y'all later.